A single prisoner altered the fate of hundreds, but he paid a high price for it. He defeated the Sleeper, destroyed the barrier. But while all the other prisoners escaped, he remained behind in the rubble. It was I who dispatched him against the Sleeper. Now it is I who brings him back from there. He is weak and has forgotten much. But he is alive. He's back.
There you are again. I never thought the two of us would meet again.
I feel like I spent 3 weeks lying under a load of rocks.
Well, so you did. Only the magic within your armor kept you alive. I had feared I might not be able to rescue you from the debris of the temple, but enough of that. You're here now. There's a new threat that we have to deal with. After the fall of the barrier and the banishment of the Sleeper, Beliar's wrath has grown even greater. A mighty artifact, so it is written in the old scriptures, will be brought back to this world when the God of Darkness sends his henchmen out to search. This search has long since begun. Beliar's henchmen are desecrating the oldest shrines of the gods. The guardians of these holy places have awakened, and their wrath makes the earth tremble. Every powerful magician on this island could sense this wrath. And some of them have certainly begun to face the threat. You must become their ally. That's the only way to stop Beliar.
At least we have enough time now. I did it. The Sleeper
has been banned. You vanquished him, so much is true. But it's not within our power to stop the war that ensues now. With his final furious scream, the Sleeper has set into movement the armies of darkness. It was an order to all evil creatures, a word of power that they were all bound to obey. His last order was, "Come!" And they came, all of them, even the dragons.
Dragons?
They are creatures of an ancient power. I can sense their presence, even here. And they have gathered an entire army of lowly servant creatures around them.
Where's this army now?
The army is camped not far from here, in the Valley of Mines near Khorinis, and they're getting ready to attack. We do not have much time left.
What can we do?
This time we cannot handle it by ourselves. Only the power of Innos will help us against these dragons. A group of paladins is stationed in the city of Khorinis, not far from here. They possess a powerful artifact which could help us to defeat the dragons. They call it the Eye of Innos. You need to get hold of this artifact. Tell the paladins about the threat. You must convince their leader to support us. And once you have talked to him, you need to find the artifact of Beliar.
It is the counterpiece to the Eye of Enos. It must not fall into the hands of evil.
What exactly is the Eye of Enos?
It's an amulet. Legend has it that Enos himself was poured part of his power into this amulet. It will restore some of your lost strength and help us defeat the dragons. It also has some other hidden powers. I shall tell you more about that once the amulet is yours.
Why would the paladins give me the Eye of Enos?
Because you are the one who is destined to wear it.
How can you claim to know that?
There are a number of reasons. The most important being, you have defeated the Sleeper. If you weren't a favorite of the gods, you'd be dead by now.
Let's assume you're right and I'm destined to bear the Eye of Enos. How would the paladins know that's true?
The eye itself chooses the one who may wear it. Once you get hold of it and put it on, the paladins cannot doubt your words any longer.
How can I get to the city?
Just follow the path from here through the mountains. The city is large. You cannot miss it, but watch out. The path to town is not without dangers, and you aren't nearly as strong as you once were.
I need weapons.
I can only give you whatever little I have here. Look around in my tower. Anything that looks useful to you, you can have.
I'll be on my way as fast as I can.
Good. And one more thing. Don't tell anyone that you've talked to me. Above all, don't tell any magician. Since I have gone into exile, the Circle of Fire has taken me for dead, and that's a good thing.
One less.
Trouble? Damn. I don't know where they're all hiding. You kill one, and shortly afterwards they're all back again. Wait a moment. I know you. You're the fellow who was constantly baking arrows for me in the Valley of Mines.
Your name is Cavalorn, right?
Ah, I see you haven't forgotten me after all we went through in the cursed colony. Where are you heading?
To the city.
Well, well. To the city, eh? You may run into problems with the guards. They aren't letting just anyone in anymore, since the area here is swarming with bandits. In the past few days, one of those former psionics from the Valley of Mines came by here. He said he constantly goes in and out of Khorinis. He went into the valley below the big tower. There must be a way in there somewhere near the waterfall. Maybe you should talk to the fellow.
Interesting armor you're wearing. Don't you belong to the Shadows anymore?
Shadows? They haven't existed since the fall of the barrier. The moment we could finally leave the Valley of Mines, there was no reason for me to stick with them. Now I work for the water mages. I belong to the Ring of Water.
What are you doing here?
I'm sitting tight. If it hadn't been for these damned bandits, I wouldn't be here.
Tell me more about the Ring of Water.
I'm not really allowed to talk about it. All I can do is send you to Vatras. He is the representative of the water mages in Khorinis. The best thing would be to talk to him. Tell him you've come from me. Maybe he'll take you on as one of us. We urgently need more good people.
Weren't you and your people enemies of the water mages back then?
Those crazy old days are over. There isn't any more new camp or old camp. Now that the penal colony no longer exists, everyone is on his own. Most of us former prisoners are still being hunted. The water mages were able to get my sentence commuted, and now I can move about freely.
What are the water mages doing now?
They're up to something big. It has to do with an unknown region of the island.
An unknown region? Where is it supposed to be?
I can't tell you more. Talk to Vatras in Khorinis.
What was that about bandits?
Have you slept through the last few weeks?
Huh?
I'm talking about all the riffraff from the penal colony that are making themselves at home here in the area, plundering and murdering for all they're worth. I guess I'm lucky they didn't kill me. I let down my guard for one moment, and they clubbed me from behind. No idea how I'll get all my stuff back now.
You were robbed by the bandits?
Yes. They beat me down and tossed me to the goblins for lunch. It was damned important stuff. A letter and all my money. I absolutely have to get it back. But without someone to watch my back, I'm not going back there. That cowardly rabble.
Can I help you with the bandits?
Maybe. But as scrawny as you look, you surely haven't held a proper sword in your hand for weeks. Well, I don't have any choice but to take your offer. My time is running out, so pay attention. Down this path here, you'll find one of those filthy holes in the ground that bandits like to hide in. The fellows there are the same ones who stole my stuff. Let me know when you're ready, and we'll nab the rabble.
I need better equipment.
Those swine haven't left me much. I can give you a wolf knife. Will that do for now?
You call that a knife? But what about healing?
I still have 2 healing potions here. Interested?
Sure, give them here.
Hey, where do you come from?
I've come from the mountains.
Exactly, you come from the mountains, and that is bad for you. Very bad. They're looking for you, a whole bunch of evil guys. There's someone here you absolutely have to talk to. Follow me.
Who's looking for me?
Half of Khorinis is after you, and you're trying to tell me that you don't know anything about it? Ah, I see. You just don't want to talk to me about it, All right, it's your business. So, you coming or not?
Who should I talk to?
To my leader. His name is Brago. He can explain everything to you better than I can. So, what about it? Are we going?
How do I know this isn't a trap?
You know, I'm getting tired of you. If you don't want my help, then just go to the city and let them put you behind bars. You come with me now or forget about it, see?
Easy, my friend. Someone else already tried to trick me.
Oh?
This guy suggested that we should get an amulet together and share the profit. Once we reached our goal, he and his friends attacked me.
It sounds as though they got you involved with the wrong people. Where was that?
I was a convict in the mining colony.
You come from behind the barrier? Man, then we were there together.
I don't know you.
I was a digger in the old camp. I didn't have much to do with the whole thing. But what is more important now is you are in big trouble. Someone has put a pretty price on your head, and he's handed out a few posters with your mug on them. If I were you, then I would be very, very careful. There are people with us who would kill their own mother for gold, but I think we boys from the penal colony ought to stick together.
Then I guess I better thank you now.
Oh, it's nothing. Just make sure you stay alive.
Can I have the picture?
Sure. After all, it's your mug on there.
Who's the fella who pays the bounty?
That I don't know. There's only one of us who knows him.
And who would that be?
Hey man, I can't really tell you that. You know how it goes.
10 gold pieces for the name of the guy who raised the bounty.
Oh man, I really can't do that.
Spit it out already.
Oh man, all right. His name is Dexter. Near the big farm, there's a steep rock. There's a watchtower up there, and a few mines. He has his hideout somewhere nearby.
I just realized I haven't got 10 gold pieces left.
What? Oh, forget it. It's my own fault. I shouldn't have told you the name before I saw the gold. And just don't tell him who told you.
There's bound to be a lot of trouble here before long.
What's up?
A guy named Cavalorn is coming to get you.
Gods, he's still alive. I'm out of here.
Let's mix it up with those guys.
Sure thing. Just keep my back clear, okay? Now, they're in for a nasty surprise. So, that's done. Ha! They shouldn't have messed with me. Then I can finally fulfill my mission. I've lost too much time already.
What sort of mission?
Yeah. First I have to get into the city, and then later... I don't know how I'm going to get all that done in time.
What about me?
Why not? You could take the letter into the city. Then I'll have a bit more time to take care of my equipment. One of the bandits must have the letter in his pocket. Take it to Vatras, the water mage in the city. You'll find him in the Temple of Adenos. He preaches there all day. Tell him that I wasn't able to get it done. And if he asks where I am, just tell him I'm already on my way to the meeting point. Okay? Oh yeah, one more thing. First buy some decent clothes from the farmers. Otherwise, you may be taken for a bandit. Here's a couple of coins.
Can you teach me something?
Sure. You know that. Man, they really took a lot out of you. You can't remember anything at all, can you?
Just you wait. Ah! Oh! 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 Oh!
Hey, stranger, you can be glad you didn't come by here 3 weeks ago. We would have taken you for an escaped convict, and we made short work of those. You look completely done in. What do you want here?
I was attacked by bandits in the mountains.
Those filthy rabble. They were probably the same bastards who took one of our sheep last night. You had terrific luck. Most people don't get away alive.
Those bandits won't trouble you anymore.
Why? Are they dead?
They picked a fight with the wrong guy.
Thank Innos. Here, it isn't much, but I want you to have it. I'll tell the others about this.
I'm on my way to town.
The way you look, you'll have to bribe the guards to get in, and you have to know what they want to hear.
And that would be?
Well, for example, that you're from Lobart's farm and want to go to the smith in the city. But that won't do you any good. You don't look like a farmer.
I see. I need better equipment.
I can imagine. But I tell you right now, we don't have anything to give away. If you can pay for what you want, Lobart will sell you something. Otherwise, go to him and ask him if he has work for you.
Where can I find Lobart?
Well, on the farm, of course. The farm belongs to him. And don't try messing with him. He's thrashed a lot of tramps and thrown them off his farm.
I've got to go. And how goes the work?
Same as always. Lot to do, not enough money, and with a bit of bad luck, the orcs will come tomorrow and burn down our farm. The king's paladins have occupied the whole city, but I can hardly believe they'll move their butts out here when the orcs attack us.
I'm headed for town.
And?
Is there anything interesting you can tell me about the city?
Nope. But Maleth goes to the city from time to time. Maybe he knows something. I mean, something that would interest you.
Is there any interesting news?
I could have sworn I saw an orc over there on the edge of the woods 2 days ago. Since then, I've kept at least one eye open at night. Why are you hanging around on my land? Whose side are you on? The rebelling farmers or the king?
I'm for the peasants.
Ha! That damned warmonger NotR will drag us all into the grave. What do you think? How long will the paladins just stand by? After what NotR has done, the whole city is in an uproar.
I need some sensible clothes.
I can give you clean farmer's work clothes. Can you pay for them then? Well, you could work off a part of the price, if you're someone who is looking for work.
What's going on here anyway?
Don't you know what's going on? Boy, where are you from? We're on the edge of a civil war. Up till now, all the farmers looked at the tribute to the city as fair taxation. But since the paladins have come to Khorinis, the city guards visit us more and more often. And little by little, they're taking everything. If it goes on like this, soon we won't have anything left for ourselves. Some farmers are starting to rebel. NotR was the first of them.
Tell me more about this NotR.
NotR is the biggest farmer here in the area. He is broken with the city. They say he's hired mercenaries to keep the city guard off his back. Can't blame him. In any case, no royal soldier dares to set foot on his farm anymore.
Who are those mercenaries that NotR hired?
I don't know much about the guys. Supposedly, a lot of them are former prisoners from the mining colony. Everybody knows what you can expect from them.
What about you? Whose side are you on? Peasants or king?
I'm too close to the city to really have a choice, but I'm glad about that. I wouldn't know how to decide. The king is bleeding us dry, and NotR sets his mercenaries on anyone who won't join him. That's why most of the other farmers are still undecided, but sooner or later they'll have to choose one side or the other.
How much for the work clothes?
Well, we'll see. Maleth said you chased the bandits off. The bastards have caused us a lot of trouble. Thanks to you, we're rid of them. 60 gold pieces.
Well, that's still too expensive.
Well, suit yourself.
I'm looking for work.
I can't use another farmhand, but I could offer some work to a day laborer. Well, what I mean is, you can lend a hand in the field. And there are certainly a few other things to do around here. I could pay you with gold, or give you a few decent things to wear. The things are worth a fair bit. I can't give them to you for nothing, but I can sell them to you cheap if you work for me. But you already have clothes, so you probably want the gold. Anyway, the small turnip field next to the barn needs to be harvested.
All right.
Then hurry it up a bit before I change my mind.
Here are your turnips.
Hey, you're not all that worthless after all. Take them to my wife in the house and tell her to cook them.
What about my pay?
I can give you 5 gold pieces, or sell you the clothes cheaper. Well, what's it to be?
Make me a better price for the togs.
Good. I'll give them to you for 10 gold pieces less.
Have you got anything else for me to do?
I don't, but you can ask my wife or the boys in the fields. Maybe they need some help.
I've got a few turnips here for you.
Great. That should be enough to fatten those guys up. Since you're here anyway, I saw a traveling trader pass by here a few minutes ago. I think he stopped on his way to town. Go to him and see whether he's got a decent frying pan for me.
Can you give me something to eat?
Here, take this. You're a good lad.
Give me the gold, and I'll go see the merchant for you.
Are you saying I can trust you? Just don't spend the money on booze, do you hear?
Who do we have here? You're on your way to the city. Am I not right?
Maybe.
You look like a fugitive. All fugitives are headed for the city. You could even be a former convict for the mining colony. I don't care where you come from, but I believe I have an interesting offer for you.
What do you have to offer?
The way you look, the guards will never let you into the city. I can help you get into the city. I have here a small piece of paper with the royal seal and the governor's signature. A pass. With this scrap of paper in your pocket, you can run about as raggedly as you please, and the guards will leave you alone. Interested?
There must be a catch to this.
No, no catch. You will merely owe me a favor.
What do you want for your pass?
I knew you were the right man. Listen, you will get the pass from me, now.
Just like that?
Just so. But if I meet you in the city, you owe me a favor. Do we have a deal?
Sure. Give me that paper.
Here, be careful with that. It is very valuable. One more thing. Don't even think about breaking your word. As a merchant, I have a great deal of influence in the city. And it wouldn't go well for you. Believe me.
Show me your wares.
Take your pick.
I've got to go.
Suit yourself.
Can I help you? I'm looking for work.
Do you know anything about working in the fields?
What is there to know?
In that case, I think we're fine here. Thank you. If you want to work for Lobart as a day laborer, I can only warn you, he pays people like you really miserable.
He offered to sell me some clean clothes cheap if I helped out on the farm.
Well, I don't have anything for you to do, but you can bring me and the boys something to drink, fetch me a bottle of wine, and I'll tell Lobart you were a real help to us.
Here's your wine.
I'd better not ask where you got it from, huh? Who cares? Thanks anyway. Lobart will only hear the best about you.
Wait a minute. Here's your frying pan.
Fine. Let's see then whether it's any good.
Have you got anything else for me to do?
I don't, but you can ask my wife or the boys in the fields. Maybe they need some help.
How much for the work clothes?
Well, we'll see. You've worked the field for me. You helped my wife. Vino says you were a real help to him. And that's saying something. He doesn't usually hold with day laborers. Maleth said you chased the bandits off. The bastards have caused us a lot of trouble. Thanks to you, we're rid of them. 30 gold pieces. It's not gonna get any cheaper.
Give me the work clothes then.
There's a chest in my house where you'll find cleaned things. But don't even think about taking anything else without asking.
Hey, you, come here.
What is it?
On your way to the city, and really busy, too. Listen, you look like a smart guy to me. I bet you'll go far in life. You're certainly nobody's fool, I could see that right away. Say, you'd probably like to earn a few gold coins, wouldn't you?
Why not?
You'll have to forgive an ignorant old seaman. I'm a stranger in these parts, and I don't really know all the rules. So I had to find out the hard way that traveling strangers aren't welcome in the harbor city. Now I'm standing here with no idea how I'm supposed to get into the city. I have some extremely important business to conduct, and my client won't tolerate a delay, you see. You'll help me find a way to get past the city guard, won't you?
About the city guards.
Yes, got an idea?
They should let you pass if you're wearing these farmer's clothes.
That's just what I need. Man, I knew I could count on you. Nobody will bother me disguised as a local yokel. Excellent. You did really well. Here's your promised reward.
What? 50 measly gold coins? You can't be serious.
Gold isn't everything, my friend. Take them for now. I have the feeling that we'll be seeing one another soon. And who knows, maybe I'll return the favor. Look after yourself.
There you are at last. I've been waiting here for hours. Just a moment. You're not a merchant from town, are you? Where is Baltram?
Baltram? You're waiting for a merchant?
Smart kid, aren't you? That's what I just said, isn't it? That good-for-nothing junk merchant seems to have forgotten me. If only I could get my hands on him.
Who are you?
I don't see how that's any of your business. But if you must know, my name is Skip. Does that ring a bell?
Who?
Are you telling me you've never heard of Skip? Holy shit! Where do you live? I'm one of Khorinis' most wanted criminals. Me and my boys have been the scourge of the waters around this crummy island for years. Come on, you must have heard of me.
But of course. It's all coming back to me now.
Honestly? You've really heard of me before? Oh shit. And I had been thinking of strolling into town. Good thing I didn't. The militia would have put me in the slammer right away.
Where do you come from?
You want to know where our hideout is? If I tell you that, I might as well invite the militia to arrest me. And in case you would like to pay us a visit, it wouldn't help you in the least. The island of Khorinis is large, and no one ever gets to where we are anyway. Unless they have a cog or some other ship. And then you'd have to find your way through the cliffs as well. Nobody gets through there unless they know the secret path. There are only 2 people who know the path, and you're not one of them.
I must be crazy. What are you doing here? Did you swim here? That's one way to get past the guards at the city gate.
Who says things like that?
Hey, Larish, you old scoundrel, how did you get here?
I was able to escape to the Valley of Mines just in time, together with Lee and some of the other boys. You remember Lee, don't you?
He can't keep anything to himself.
Of course I remember Lee.
I got out of the colony with him then, just after the barrier was destroyed. He and his boys are now on the farm of NotR, the landowner. He made a deal with the farmer. He and his boys defend the farm, and NotR feeds them in return.
Interesting.
I must talk to the Paladins by any means.
What do you want from them?
They've got a powerful amulet, the Eye of Innos. I must have it.
And you think they'll give it to you? You'll never get into the upper end of town.
I'll find a way somehow.
Sure. If you want to ingratiate yourself with the citizens or play errand boy for the militia.
I can't take care of everything for everybody.
Do you know why the Paladins are here?
Nobody knows for sure. Lots of people think it's because of the orcs, but I think there's another reason. It probably has something to do with the old penal colony.
Tell me more about Lee and his mercenaries.
What do you want to know?
How do I find the landowner's farm?
It's quite simple. You leave the seaport by the east gate and then follow the path towards the east. I can take you there if you want.
You don't say.
Tell me more about the mercenaries.
Well, if you're as tough as you were back then, you shouldn't have any problems with them. Most of them are ruffians, and if you can't stand up to them, you won't get far. If you're squeamish, you don't have a chance of joining them.
Why aren't you with Lee and his mercenaries?
But I am, just not on the farm. You could say I'm our outpost in the city. We don't want the ship to sail without us.
What ship were you talking about?
It's on the open sea harbor, behind the cliffs. Lee and a few of his people really want to get away from here. But that could take a while.
Why?
You'd better ask Lee about that. If you meet him, he's got plans.
I don't believe it.
Can you teach me something?
Sure. I can help you become stronger and more dexterous if you like.
It's not a secret.
Teach me something.
And it's gonna get even worse. And he works all day too.
Good. Your strength has increased.
He better shut. You can't keep it. That's an open secret. What's an open secret?
Halt, stranger. I didn't see you come through this gate.
And?
And the guards on the other gate have orders not to let any unknown persons into the city.
Well...
I shall have to have a word with those two. But now for us two. I am NotR, Paladin of the King and humble servant of Innos, your lord. Our commander, Lord Hagen, has entrusted me with the task of explaining to all newcomers the new laws which apply to all inhabitants of the city.
Since people have started simply vanishing all over this town, everyone needs to watch out that they don't suffer the same fate.
I have an important message for the leader of the Paladins.
The Honorable Lord Hagen is not receiving anyone. Lord Andre, the commander of the city guard, is responsible for all issues pertaining to the common folk.
All along.
Listen, the city is threatened by dragons.
That can't be true. Another lunatic. We have enough unrest in the city as it is. And without some dimwit scaring people with fairy tales about dragons. I immediately locked up the last person who was here telling dragon tales and sent him to the Valley of Mines with the prison transport.
You didn't know that.
So mind your tongue. We can't use anyone here who spreads panic among the people.
Somebody already reported the dragons here?
Yes. The fellow's name was Diego. I think so, in any case. I warned him just like you.
but the lunatic
Nobody
just
ever
wouldn't
asked for
stop
my opinion.
getting on my nerves.
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
I have come to get the Eye of Innos.
The sacred Eye of Innos? How do you know about that?
Is it really true?
You're not a member of the Order.
A magician told me about it.
I don't know what his motives were when he entrusted one of the secrets of our Order to you, but he certainly didn't mean for you to get your fingers on it.
But
I don't want to hear any more about it. First you start with fairy tales about dragons, and then this. Incredible.
Don't say you didn't know that.
the townspeople are simply disappearing?
Yes, it seems to be more every day. It's most annoying that the militia have still not been able to discover what's behind these strange occurrences. Small wonder that the town's inhabitants are very wary of strangers right now. So don't provoke them when you're in town. Understood?
I'd have gone about it differently.
All right. Explain the rules of the city to me.
First, the Honorable Paladin Lord Hagen resides in the upper quarter, along with his troops. That is why access to the upper quarter is allowed only to honorable citizens. Second, the town hall in the upper quarter is now the command post of the Paladins. Only the Paladins themselves and members of the militia have access to it. And third, whoever is accused of a crime must exonerate himself with the commander of the militia. Any questions?
That was quite obvious.
How do I become a citizen of the town?
Only those with regular jobs will be considered citizens of the town. But don't think that you'll be admitted to Lord Hagen just because you're a citizen of the town. As a citizen, you have access to the upper quarter, nothing more. Only as a member of the militia will you have access to the town hall.
Where can I find work?
You'll have to apply as an apprentice to one of the masters here in the lower part of the city. As soon as a master accepts you, you are a citizen of the town. However, the other masters must agree to it. That's the custom here in Khorinis. If you were thinking about looking for work in the Harbor District, forget it.
Will it ever change?
The scum of the city live there. Don't even go there. You would regret it.
How do I get to the upper quarter?
Say, are you listening to me at all? You're not a citizen of this town. You can save yourself the trip. The guards won't let you in. The entire area behind the inner gate is off limits to you.
How do I get accepted into the militia?
By express command of Lord Hagen, only citizens of the town will be admitted into the militia.
I see.
If you want to know more, speak to Lord Andre in the barracks.
What do I have to do to get armor like yours?
What? You aren't even a member of the militia! You're not even a citizen! How can you even think of being allowed to wear the armor of a paladin? Only a few militia soldiers, those who have performed extraordinary deeds, have been granted that honor so far. If you want to be a paladin, you have a long road ahead of you, my boy.
Do you really believe that?
Where can I find the commander of the city guard?
Lord Andre can be found in the barracks at the other end of the city.
Where can I spend the night here?
If you're looking for a place to sleep, go to the hotel directly across from the barracks. The Paladins pay for the lodging of all travelers who come to the city. The traveling traders from the marketplace are also lodged there.
I've got to go.
If I hear one more time that you are telling people here about dragons, you will be in big trouble. Do I make myself clear?
I agree with you completely.
So why won't they listen to me?
It's not
Hello, stranger. You must be hungry and thirsty. Perhaps I can interest you in my wares.
I was actually on my way to see the Paladins.
There's little chance of that. Since the Paladins made themselves at home in the upper end of town, hardly anyone gets in there anymore.
Can you help me get into the upper quarter?
Me? Nah, I don't have much say here myself. There are a few people in the lower city who have enough influence to get you past the guards. Mateo, my boss, is one of them. Maybe you should talk to him.
Where can I find Mateo?
You're standing right outside his shop. Just go on in. He's practically always there.
What about the other influential citizens?
The merchants and master craftsmen here on the main street, are the most important figures in the city. You should try to get accepted by one of them as an apprentice like me. Since I started working for Mateo, the people in the city treat me with respect.
Where did you pick that up then?
I need some money, and I'm looking for work.
I've heard that Bosper has trouble with his suppliers. His shop is right over there. They say he pays pretty well.
What do you have to offer?
At the moment, I don't have much choice. The damned landowner doesn't deliver anymore. And what we get from the small farms isn't enough to meet the demands of the city.
I hardly know what to believe anymore.
Tell me more about the peasants' revolt.
It's quite simple. NotR, the fat landowner, won't pay any more taxes to the city. Imagine, we're at war with the orcs, and that fat slob wants everything for himself. Normally, the city guard would take firm measures in such cases, but now comes the best part. They say NotR has hired mercenaries to keep the troops from the city off his back. Mercenaries! The whole thing will end in a damn war, as if one war weren't enough.
Only wait and see.
What do you know about NotR's mercenaries?
I heard that most of them are former convicts from the mining colony, and their leader's supposed to have been a big shot with the king, a general or something, whom they put away as a traitor. These are terrible times.
Show me your wares.
Insisted he knew better.
We can only wait and see.
I agree with you completely.